If you're into minimalist shoes and you're looking for a new boot for this winter, then the Xero Shoes Denver upgrade might be a really good option for you. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Doc Caden. If we're meeting for the first time, I'm a physio who likes to talk about minimalist footwear. So if that's stuff that you're interested in as well, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Like today's video, it's gonna help push it out to more people just like yourselves, and stay tuned for the ride. So my first ever pair of minimalist footwear was from Xero Shoes. It's actually their Xero Shoes Prio line, which is probably one of the cheapest lines of minimalist footwear for people to get started with. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about the Prio, go ahead and click on this video up here. It'll explain everything from my first impressions and my use case and how much I actually like this shoe as a beginner minimalist shoe for people who are just new to the lifestyle. As my collection has grown, Xero Shoes has always been a brand that's just been kind of sitting right there as one of my staples and my go-tos for everyday footwear and for workouts in some instances. Last winter, when we got a massive snowstorm, I turned to Xero Shoes for their Alpine boot, which is a great snow option for heavy snow, and you really need to keep your feet warm and handle all those kinds of environments. If you want to check that one out, I'm going to put this one up here as well. So when it came to looking at getting more of a low-rise, minimalist, everyday wear boot that could be worn either for a date night or just to work, when Xero Shoes decided to send me their Denver upgrade, I was pretty excited. To be honest, I hadn't really considered the first version of the Denver boot for a couple of reasons. The most glaring reason for me is actually the styling. For a lot of the Xero Shoes line, I really like the way that they look. They have a nice sporty feel to them. They're running shoes, they're hiking shoes, they look really good. But when it comes to a casual boot and something that I want to wear in nicer situations or just walking around town with some jeans, I'm not a big fan of the strap mechanism that they have that kind of goes down and inserts itself into the sole and wraps around the side of the boot. So with the original Denver being a canvas design and having that strap associated with it, it didn't quite fit my particular styling choices. But what's really cool about the new Denver upgrade is that they've actually removed that strapping system from the boot itself, and it's no longer a part of the overall design. The difference between the new Denver and the old Denver is that the new one is actually made of leather. So the upper is this nice soft leather material that's still really flexible, and you can sort of see with the seams that they've built into the side of the shoe that it still takes on that style choice from before without actually having the physical strap wrapping around the shoe itself, and I actually really like the way that that looks a lot better. So far in the week that I've had the new boot, I've liked a couple of different things. First of all, it has the same sole that we're used to seeing on all of our other Xero shoes. It's flat, it's flexible, it moves with your foot, it allows your feet to do what they're meant to do, which is to feel the earth beneath you, spread and splay and do all those sorts of things. On top of that, it has a naturally wide toe box like we always expect from Xero Shoes. Those are two major tenets that haven't changed and I don't expect to ever change in future lineups. What's great about the sole on this shoe is actually the little chevron lugs underneath are a little bit thicker and deeper than what you would find in, say, the Prio or the HFS, but very similar to what you'll find on the Alpine boot. It gives you a little bit more traction and grip in cold weather environments. If you're walking around on grass or dirt, if there's happens to be a light laying of snow, then you can walk through some of that. So I like the added traction on the bottom of this shoe quite a lot. The branding on the Denver is really subtle and I like that. Xero is printed in on the tongue and there are a couple of logos placed on the back of the shoe and on the side of the sole, but it's not overpowering and you quickly understand that this is a Xero shoe without needing to read it or have it be super obvious. Something I actually didn't expect when I got these was the flannel interior, and I think that's a really cool design for something that's meant to be worn in colder weather. This shoe is definitely not a snow boot by any means. It's something that you would want to wear in a cold weather environment but not handle large amounts of deep snow or really frigid temperatures, but it can handle itself well because of the flannel lining and the heat reflective insole. The insole for the Denver boot is just like every other insole in a Xero Shoes. It's completely optional, so you can take it out if you want, and the boot works totally fine. It gets you a lot closer to the ground, and you don't need to have that in there. But if you choose to keep it in, it is heat reflective and adds a little bit of cushion, which may make the boot feel a tad more snug on your foot, which if you have a really high arch or really thick feet, may be something that you want to consider removing if that's an issue for you. With the new leather design, the boot still remains rather flexible and can bend and flex all the different ways that you would want it to, just like every other Xero shoe. I do have one little note to make about how it feels on the inside. So I don't know if you can see, but as I pull the lacing down here in the front of the shoe, you can see this little seam that runs across the bottom. On the inside of the shoe, that's where a lot of the stitching kind of runs, and it hits right across the metatarsal heads of my foot. So when I first put my foot in there and started to move around in the shoe, I could feel that pressure pushing down on the foot, and I noticed it being something that I was like, hey, I'm paying attention to this a little bit more than I should. It's a little bit uncomfortable. But after wearing it for a little while, maybe about a week or so, I started to not really notice that being there as often. And if you wear a little bit thicker socks, it starts to go away kind of quickly. If you're someone who is worried about pressure points or you're worried about that extra contact, it's something that I would consider putting on your feet, trying out, and not wearing outside in case it's something that you don't want to continue with. You can send them back, you can exchange them for something different, but just know that going into it. When you're looking at sizing your Denver boot, if you have a pair of Xero shoes from the past, it runs pretty true to size. I'm a size 9 in the Prios, and I'm a size 9 in the Denver boot, and they both fit perfectly fine. Pricing for these when they release, I expect to be similar to the older version of the Denver boot, which comes in at $119 US, which really for something that's this quality and is going to help your feet feel better all the time, that's a really good price point to go for something that is, in my opinion, really fashionable and really functional. I've never owned a pair of black boots before I got these, and after wearing them around for a little while, I actually like the way they look quite a lot. It's a very stylish boot. It looks really good with pants, with jeans, with joggers. It's something that I think I'm gonna wear quite a bit this fall and this winter. So I wanna give Xero Shoes a big thanks for sending these over and letting me try them out and letting me review them for you guys so you have a little bit of a better understanding of what my perspective is as you go into your buying decision. If you decide you want to pick up a pair of the Denver boot or any other of Xero shoes, I am an affiliate member and I have a link down in the description that you can click on. If you click on that, it'll take you right over to their website and I will receive a small compensation for anything that you do purchase. Just know that all of that money goes towards me providing more content just like this for my channel and for future people who might want to get into the minimalist footwear space. As always, if you have any questions about the shoe review or any other things that I talk about, just leave those down in the comments. I try to answer as many as I possibly can. I love interacting with you guys, answering your questions, and maybe even learning a few new things that I haven't heard about before. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I can't wait for the cold weather to come around so I can wear these a lot more often. Until next time, go check out some of the other videos, learn a few things about minimalist shoes, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.